Hello friends, when you are working on any software based project, you know very well that the database need to be very strong because they are where all our credentials will be preserved. So in that regard, I'm going to provide a series of video where I will be covering up some of the important aspects that one need to remember while developing the project. In this video, you will be coming across a wide range of structured queries which will be very important for any project, whether it's an app based or a web based. So, in this video, I start with the classification of SQL commands. Broadly, SQL commands are categorized under following heads. Let's start with the first one, data definition language. What it does mean? DDL stands for create, remove and make any form of changes in the table structure or entity. So you will be creating table for your project. So in that table, when you are going to create that table, we are going to make use of DDL. Okay. So once the table has been created, the table will be based on certain data types, and surely there will be wide range of constraints that you need to put forward so that the data which the user is trying to save in the table should not violate the basic validations. So those constraints also will be covered up in the DDL scope. These are the three different commands which we will be seeing, and that falls under the category of data definition language. Moving ahead, data manipulation language. What is this all about? The term itself says we are going to manipulate in the form of adding new record or instance. Similarly, you can remove or change the value of existing record. So when we are talking about insertion and removal as well as change, so these three queries will be very effective: insert, update and delete. Well, in the coming videos you will be seeing a sample of these queries as well. The next one comes is data query language, DQL. These are some important topics that even you will encounter in your semester exams as well as in different corporate level interviews, where they do ask this kind of question, that how do you differentiate between DDL and DQL. So let's move ahead with DQL. This command is used to view record. So just focus on the word called query. So that means you are retrieving the record from the entity and then you are going to display it in the console. So when you are retrieving record, how is that possible? Because the data are stored in the tables which are preserved in the hard disk. So from there you have to fetch it. Now while you are fetching your instances, they might have certain conditions. Okay, so over there different operators will also come in pictures. That's what also we will be seeing it, and the query will be select query. The fourth one would be data control language. This is something very, very important. You know, when we are working on a project, you have to create user who will be authorized to access the database. Okay, so generally we call them as admin, but apart from admin there can be some other system users also. So create, we all know that create command, we have mentioned it in the DDL, is used to create tables, but you will be surprised to know that even create command is also used to create users. That also I will show you in the coming videos. So you will be creating users, and while you are creating the user, definitely you have to provide privileges, permission, how much the user is capable of doing it, what kind of authorization you are putting forward to that user, you have to prescribe with the help of data control language. And for doing so, we are going to use the command grant and revoke. So if you are assigning the permission, then you are going to grant it, and if you are withdrawing some permission, as the withdrawal take place, it will be making use of revoke query. You know, every user has got its own assigned namespace area where all the entities or the object that the user is going to create will be stored over there. So it's not just only tables will be created. Apart from table, there can be views, there can be cursor, trigger, function, procedures. So a lot of things will be there covering up in the coming videos. Okay, so just keep watching. And last but not the least come the transaction control language. This is a very important chapter. A lot of questions do come in the corporate level interviews, because over here the asset property will be asked, that how exactly you are ensuring that the transaction which will be taking place will not conflict with one another. So that takes place, that ensure part will be encountered over here. Okay, each operation that you are doing it will be called as transaction or will be treated as transaction. So when you are adding a new record, or if you are updating, or if you are deleting a new record, you may wish to save it. Well, you are thinking that whenever I'm writing a query, automatically it gets saved, but actually it's not like that. Okay, you have got these following commands: commit, rollback, and save point. We will see in the coming videos what these commands are capable of. Then only the query which you are firing will be getting stored. Okay, so each time you're writing a query, it does not ensure that it will be saved unless and until you fire the commit command. So we will be seeing it practically in the coming videos. So these are the 5 different ways we can classify SQL command that is meant for any project, whether it's an Android based, or whether it's a web based, or whether it's any form of different framework that are available. So all the application, they will be working on these wide range of queries. In this video I will be covering up the very first one, data definition language. In the upcoming videos, each of these category I will be showing you some sample example. So let me scroll down over here, and I already stated that data definition language will be having 3 queries: create, alter, and drop. So let me create one entity, and let me copy this command from here, and I will be using it in the SQL command line. So here we are going to fire this command. So I right clicked and paste over here, the command comes down over here. So let me explain the command, what the command is basically going to do. So data definition language ensures that you can create an entity. Remember, table can also be called as entity. The name of the table I have given is as EMP. You are free to choose whatever name you feel like. Over here the first the parenthesis starts, and here the parenthesis ends, and in between you are supposed to mention the different data types with the respective attribute name. So these are the attribute names. So name, address, date of join, salary. If you take a note over here, I'm covering up 3 different data types in the form of varchar2, and over here the date, the data type is also mentioned, and the number is also there. Along with that, I'm mentioning the size, how much data it can hold. Okay, so as I hit the enter, what will happen is the following entity will be created, and here it is, the following table got created. So once the table got generated within the respective user, remember I have logged into this SQL command prompt with a particular user. That also I will be showing in the later part of the upcoming videos, because right now we are working on data definition language, and I told you data definition language ensure there is a create command for creating tables. At the same time, we will be also using this create command for creating users, which we will be seeing in the upcoming video. So once the table got created successfully, you can check the schema of this table by firing the command desc. The name of the entity is EMP, and as I hit the enter, you will be able to see the name of the attribute, which is over here. Well, right now I'm not going to the constraint part. That's the reason the null constraint has not been filled up over here, and here you can see the different data types with the respective size associated with the following attributes. Okay, so that's how this particular table got created. Nothing very hi-fi, it's very simple, but it's purely syntax based. You have to remember the following syntax of writing the query. You need to remember the data types, how and what type of the data type, what type of value they are going to expect. These things you need to take care. Okay, once we have created the entity that is called table, suddenly you realize that maybe you have missed out any one of the attribute, or maybe multiple attribute. So in that case, what you need to do, you have to insert an attribute. Remember, your table is already created, so now you are going to create a new attribute, but not the new table. So you are basically altering your existing table, and for that reason you have got the command called alter. So alter means the object already exists, only a modification is going to take place over here. the modification can be also different type. Okay, right now we are going for inclusion. It can be exclusion also, which we will see more in details in the coming videos. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm saying that alter table. So alter is also a command just like create. The name of the entity is emp, and what I'm trying to do over here, I'm trying to add. What I'm adding a new attribute. I give the attribute name as phone number, and look, currently there are 4 attributes are there in the table emp. This attribute is not there. So once I fire this command, thereafter this attribute will be included even in the table. See, the table got altered. Please take a note of the message. Previously the table was created, and now it is saying the table got altered because this is an existing table. So if you go and fire your describe, so to see the schema, obviously after the inclusion of the attribute called phone, now there is one more column over here. Previously there were 4 columns, and currently you are seeing the 5th column as well. So you created the table, you went for alteration. Now the last query of the video is going to be the drop, so where we are going to delete the following entity. Okay, and that will complete the entire DDL part. But again, I'm saying these are very basic level queries I'm performing. Obviously I will try to make up some videos where I will be going for a bit more complicated queries, but as you know that in the world of project there are a wide range of activities that are involved, so you have to take this particular subject very seriously. Okay, so let me fire the drop table emp. So the outcome of this is the table gets deleted. The table is no more there. Okay, when I'm saying it's no more there, that is also not practically true, because you have to go with the commit command, which we will see slowly and steadily. Now the table is no more, that is fine. So now what if I fire the DESC? I know the table is not there, but just out of curiosity I'm just firing this command. What will be the outcome of this? The following object is not present. Very clearly the database query is saying it that the following object is not there. Okay, but that does not mean that this is the only video that will be talking about these things, but definitely in the coming videos we will be talking about data manipulation language. So a lot of things are still pending to come. So I would request you guys, please do keep on watching these videos, and don't forget to put forward your feedback, what kind of thing you are expecting, which I will be projecting in my coming videos. Surely I will try to cover as much possible. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.